As we get older, the choices we make around food can have an even bigger impact on how we feel, move, and age. For seniors across the country, nutrition is no longer just about calories or taste. It's about protecting your joints, keeping your brain sharp, managing inflammation, and supporting a healthy heart. And while most people think of nuts as a go-to health snack, there's more to the story. That's right. Not all nuts are good for seniors, especially after the age of 60. In fact, some of the most common nuts in pantries today can quietly work against your health. They may raise blood pressure, worsen inflammation, or even make weight control harder as metabolism slows with age. But on the flip side, there are nuts that deliver exactly what older adults need: essential nutrients that protect the brain, bones, and cardiovascular system. In today's video, we'll break down the 2 nuts you should think twice about, and the 3 best nuts to eat regularly for long-term wellness. Whether you're trying to reduce joint pain, support your heart, maintain strong bones, or simply feel more energized and mobile, this information is for you. And no, we're not talking about giving up all your favorite snacks or avoiding fat altogether. This is about making smarter nut choices that are more senior-friendly and work with your body, not against it. So if you or someone you care about is over 60, stay with us. We'll walk through each nut, why it's helpful or harmful, and give you science-backed reasons to feel confident in your daily nutrition. Let's take this simple step together toward better eating and better aging. Because when it comes to nuts, it's not about cutting them out, it's about choosing the ones that truly support you. The first nut to avoid after 60, salted peanuts. A salty snack that seems harmless, but can quietly fuel inflammation, raise blood pressure, and disrupt senior wellness. Salted peanuts are everywhere, found in party mixes, vending machines, lunchboxes, and even on kitchen counters as a quick go-to snack. And for many older adults, they've become a staple thanks to their convenience and familiar taste. But while peanuts can offer some protein and fiber, the salted, roasted variety carries risks that are especially problematic for seniors. Let's start with sodium. Just a small handful of salted peanuts, about 1 ounce, can contain over 120 to 250 milligrams of sodium. And if you're someone who tends to snack by the bowl, not the pinch, that adds up quickly. Seniors are often advised to keep sodium intake below 1,500 milligrams per day, especially if they're managing high blood pressure, heart failure, or kidney issues. And with blood pressure regulation becoming more delicate with age, excess sodium can push things in the wrong direction fast, raising the risk of fluid retention, swelling, and cardiovascular strain. But it doesn't stop there. Peanuts are also high in omega-6 fatty acids, a type of fat that, when consumed in large amounts, can promote inflammation. And for seniors already dealing with arthritis, joint stiffness, or inflammatory conditions, this can quietly worsen symptoms. The modern diet tends to overemphasize omega-6 fats, while lacking in anti-inflammatory omega-3s, creating an imbalance that adds fuel to the fire. Then there's the digestive factor. Peanuts, especially roasted or processed ones, contain lectins and other anti-nutrients that may irritate sensitive digestive systems. Many seniors experience slower gut motility or struggle with bloating and gas, issues that salty, dense snacks like peanuts can aggravate. They're also one of the most common allergens in the world, and even those without full-blown allergies can experience low-grade digestive or immune responses that build up over time. We also can't ignore how peanuts are typically consumed. Most people don't eat them in raw, organic form. They eat them salted, flavored, and roasted in unhealthy oils, sometimes with added sugars or preservatives. This turns a once wholesome ingredient into a processed, calorie-dense snack that offers few benefits and multiple drawbacks. Consider Walter Mendez, a 69-year-old former factory supervisor from Sacramento. He started eating salted peanuts daily as a way to curb his sweet tooth and cut back on sugary snacks. But instead of feeling better, he noticed his knees became more inflamed, his blood pressure crept up, and he started waking up feeling stiff and puffy. It wasn't until his nutritionist reviewed his salt intake and zeroed in on the handfuls of salted peanuts that the connection became clear. Once Walter replaced the peanuts with a mix of raw walnuts and unsalted almonds, his blood pressure improved, his joints felt more flexible, and he even began sleeping better, thanks to the healthier fats and reduced inflammation in his system. Salted peanuts aren't inherently evil, but for seniors, especially those with heart, joint, or digestive concerns, they're a snack that often does more harm than good. If you're eating them regularly, consider switching to a more balanced nut option with fewer additives and more senior-friendly nutrients. Next, we'll look at another nut that may sound healthy on the surface, but can make it harder to maintain a healthy weight as we age. Let's keep going. The second nut seniors should approach with caution: macadamia nuts. Often marketed as a luxurious, heart-healthy snack, macadamias carry a hidden downside, especially for older adults struggling with metabolism, weight management, or energy levels. Now, don't get us wrong, macadamia nuts aren't inherently unhealthy. In moderation, they're rich in monounsaturated fats, low in carbs, and even contain antioxidants like tocotrienols that support heart and brain health. But when consumed too frequently, or in the wrong portion sizes, they can quietly undermine your wellness goals, particularly after age 60. Let's start with the calorie density. Just 1 ounce of macadamia nuts, about 10 to 12 nuts, packs in over 200 calories and 21 grams of fat. That might not sound like much at first, but the fats in macadamias are extremely energy-dense. For seniors whose metabolism has naturally slowed, regularly snacking on high-fat nuts like these can lead to weight gain, especially around the midsection. And since excess weight is linked to joint strain, blood sugar instability, and cardiovascular risk, that small handful can carry bigger consequences than expected. Then there's the satiety issue. Unlike protein-rich nuts like almonds or walnuts, macadamias are relatively low in protein and fiber. That means they may not fill you up the same way, making it easier to overeat them without even noticing. And with portion control becoming harder to manage in the absence of strong hunger cues, this can become a daily trap. Another factor? Fat digestion slows with age. As we get older, our digestive system produces fewer enzymes and less bile. This makes it harder to efficiently process high-fat foods, leading to discomfort, bloating, or even fatigue after meals. Macadamias, being nearly 90% fat by weight, place an extra burden on the digestive tract, particularly for seniors with gallbladder issues or a history of digestive sensitivity. Let's also consider inflammation. While the fats in macadamias are generally anti-inflammatory, eating too many nuts, especially without balancing them with vegetables, lean proteins, or fiber, can push your overall fat intake too high. This can disrupt gut health, trigger sluggishness, and even raise triglyceride levels in some individuals, which is not ideal for older adults managing heart health. Take, for example, Sheila Thomas, a 68-year-old retired speech therapist from Portland. After switching to a low-carb diet, she began replacing her midday meals with macadamia nut snacks, believing she was making a healthy choice. But within a few weeks, she noticed her energy dipping in the afternoons, her digestion slowing, and her pants fitting a bit tighter around the waist. When her nutritionist examined her intake, they realized she was consuming close to 600 extra calories a day, almost entirely from macadamia nuts. Once Sheila replaced her afternoon snack with a protein-rich yogurt and a few raw walnuts, the bloating faded, her energy rebounded, and she even began losing weight more steadily, without feeling deprived. Macadamias aren't off-limits, but portion control is key. Think of them more like a garnish than a snack, a few sprinkled over a salad, or paired with a fiber-rich meal to slow fat absorption. For seniors aiming to manage their weight, digestion, and heart health, moderation makes all the difference. Up next, we'll turn the corner and focus on the top nuts that actually support senior wellness, starting with one that's a powerhouse for brain and joint health. Let's keep going. The best nut number 1, walnuts, a powerful source of healthy fats, brain protection, and anti-inflammatory support for seniors. Among all the nuts available, walnuts stand out for their impressive ability to nourish aging bodies from the inside out, especially for those concerned with memory loss, heart health, joint pain, or cognitive decline. So, what makes walnuts such an essential part of a senior's diet? To start, they're one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid (ALA). Omega-3s are critical for reducing chronic inflammation, protecting cells from oxidative stress, and supporting the brain's structural integrity, something that naturally declines as we age. And unlike many other nuts, walnuts offer this benefit without the need for fish or supplements. But the impact of omega-3s goes beyond general brain health. Studies show that older adults who consume walnuts regularly have lower levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, a marker of inflammation that contributes to heart disease, arthritis, and even cognitive decline. By lowering CRP and supporting vascular function, walnuts help maintain healthier circulation, reduce joint stiffness, and protect neurons against age-related damage. What's more, walnuts are also packed with polyphenols, antioxidants that help counteract the oxidative stress that builds up with age. These compounds are especially helpful for supporting long-term cognitive function and have been linked to better memory, focus, and verbal reasoning in older adults. Let's look at a real-life example. Meet Marjorie Lane, a 77-year-old retired librarian from Asheville, North Carolina. After struggling with forgetfulness and mild arthritis in her hands, she began researching ways to support both her joints and her memory, naturally. One article she found highlighted walnuts and their anti-inflammatory power. Curious, Marjorie began adding a small handful of walnuts to her morning oatmeal and sometimes tossed a few into her afternoon salads. Within a few weeks, she began noticing subtle changes. Less stiffness in her fingers during her morning crossword puzzle, more energy during her walks, and even sharper focus when organizing her home library. Encouraged, she stuck with it. At her next checkup, her doctor was impressed by her improved inflammatory markers and cognitive screening scores. Walnuts had become a staple, not just a snack, but part of her wellness plan. And it's not just the brain and joints that benefit. Walnuts also support gut health by feeding beneficial bacteria like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, which influence everything from immune strength to nutrient absorption. Seniors often face challenges in maintaining a balanced microbiome, and walnuts provide both fiber and prebiotics to support a healthier gut. To maximize the benefits, stick with raw or dry-roasted unsalted walnuts. A serving size of just 1 ounce, or about 12 to 14 halves, offers a concentrated source of ALA, antioxidants, and plant-based protein. They pair well with yogurt, salads, or even blended into smoothies. So if you're over 60 and looking to protect your memory, reduce inflammation, and age more gracefully, walnuts should be one of your go-to choices. Up next, we'll explore another nut that offers powerful benefits for circulation, bones, and nerves. Let's keep going. The best nut number 2, almonds, a nutrient-dense, bone-supporting, nerve-protecting super snack that belongs in every senior's daily routine. Among all the nuts available, almonds often stand out not just for their versatility and crunch, but for their exceptional ability to support key areas of concern for older adults: bone strength, circulation, and nerve health. Almonds are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from age-related damage. They also provide a healthy dose of magnesium, a mineral that many seniors fall short on, yet is essential for everything from nerve signaling to maintaining normal heart rhythm and keeping bones strong. Let's begin with bone health. After 60, bone density begins to decline, increasing the risk of fractures and osteoporosis. Almonds provide both calcium and magnesium, two minerals that work together to support skeletal structure and prevent age-related bone loss. Unlike many dairy products, almonds are gentle on digestion and don't cause the bloating or discomfort some seniors experience with milk or cheese. Vitamin E also plays a crucial role here. It helps reduce oxidative stress in bone tissue, lowering inflammation that contributes to bone weakening. Combined with almonds' trace amounts of zinc and manganese, nutrients essential for collagen formation, this nut becomes a powerful ally in preserving skeletal health. But almonds go even further. They support healthy circulation and nerve function, two systems that often decline subtly with age. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels, promoting smoother blood flow and reducing the strain on the heart. At the same time, it supports nerve conductivity, helping muscles contract properly and reducing the likelihood of cramping or neuropathy. Now let's meet someone who experienced these benefits firsthand. Beverly Hatch, a 74-year-old retired school principal from Rochester, New York, was feeling more off balance than usual. She struggled with cold feet, tingling hands, and occasional lightheadedness. Her doctor found that she was low in magnesium and borderline deficient in vitamin E. Rather than reaching for supplements right away, Beverly decided to try a food-first approach. She began including a small handful of almonds in her breakfast and sometimes as a snack paired with apple slices in the afternoon. Within a few weeks, her symptoms began to ease. Her hands felt steadier, and she no longer needed to sit down after walking upstairs. After 3 months, her labs showed improved magnesium levels and reduced inflammatory markers. Her balance improved, and so did her energy. Almonds are also heart-friendly. With their high content of monounsaturated fats and antioxidants, they help lower LDL cholesterol and protect against arterial damage, an added bonus for seniors managing blood pressure or cardiovascular concerns. To get the most from almonds, opt for raw or dry roasted unsalted varieties. Avoid sugary, candied, or overly salted options, which cancel out many of the nut's health benefits. A serving size of about 23 almonds, or a small handful, is just right to gain the nutritional advantages without overdoing the calories. Whether eaten on their own, sprinkled over yogurt, or blended into smoothies, almonds offer a smart, senior-friendly boost to your daily diet, supporting your bones, nerves, and circulation with every bite. Coming up next, we'll dive into a Brazil nut, a lesser-known gem that packs a powerful punch for thyroid and immune health. Let's take a look. The best nut number 3, Brazil nuts, a selenium-rich powerhouse for thyroid function, cognitive clarity, and immune support. While often overlooked in favor of more familiar options like almonds or walnuts, Brazil nuts deserve a place on every senior's radar. Just 1 or 2 of these large, buttery nuts a day can deliver extraordinary health benefits, especially after the age of 60. What makes Brazil nuts such a standout? It all comes down to selenium, a trace mineral that plays a major role in protecting the body as it ages. Selenium supports the thyroid gland, helps regulate metabolism, and acts as a powerful antioxidant that defends cells against oxidative damage. And Brazil nuts happen to be the richest known food source of this mineral. Let's start with the thyroid. As we age, thyroid function often slows, contributing to weight gain, fatigue, mood changes, and sensitivity to cold. The thyroid requires selenium to convert hormones into their active form. Without enough selenium, thyroid hormone production can become impaired, especially in older adults already managing low thyroid levels or taking thyroid medication. Just 1 Brazil nut provides over 90 micrograms of selenium, enough to meet the daily requirement for most adults, and it's far more absorbable than synthetic supplements. But the benefits go beyond the thyroid. Selenium also strengthens the immune system, helping seniors fight off infections more efficiently. It plays a role in white blood cell function and helps lower chronic inflammation that underlies many age-related diseases. Additionally, selenium has been linked to better cognitive performance and memory retention, making Brazil nuts a smart choice for those wanting to stay mentally sharp. Let's talk about someone who experienced this firsthand. Arnold "Arnie" Garrison, a 79-year-old retired postal worker from Des Moines, Iowa. Arnie had started feeling more sluggish, had trouble concentrating during his morning crossword, and felt like his memory wasn't as sharp as it used to be. His doctor ruled out major issues but noted mild hypothyroidism and borderline low selenium levels. Instead of immediately reaching for supplements, Arnie's dietitian suggested a simple change: eating just one Brazil nut each morning, along with his usual breakfast. It didn't take long for Arnie to notice the difference. Within 3 weeks, his energy improved, his mental clarity sharpened, and he stopped forgetting simple things like where he'd placed his reading glasses or whether he'd taken his walk for the day. 3 months later, a follow-up thyroid panel showed improved hormone balance, and Arnie felt more confident managing his daily routines. Brazil nuts had become a permanent part of his routine. Small, simple, and incredibly effective. But here's the key with Brazil nuts: more is not better. Too much selenium can actually be harmful, leading to side effects like nausea, brittle nails, or metallic taste. That's why experts recommend 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day, no more. It's one of the few foods where just a bite-sized portion delivers everything you need. To get the full benefits, choose raw or dry roasted, unsalted Brazil nuts. Keep them in a cool, dry place to prevent the fats from going rancid. Add one to your breakfast, crumble it over a salad, or enjoy it with a few berries for a mineral-rich snack. For seniors looking to improve metabolism, boost brain function, and reinforce their immune defenses, Brazil nuts offer a simple, natural way to support long-term vitality, one nut at a time. Let's wrap up with a recap and final tips on how to make all of these nuts work together for better aging. As we age, every bite we take carries more weight, literally and figuratively. Each snack, each meal, becomes an opportunity to support our joints, protect our heart, sharpen our mind, and maintain the energy we need to keep living life on our terms. And few foods have as much concentrated power in such small portions as nuts. But as we've seen in today's video, not all nuts are equally helpful, especially for seniors over 60. Some, like salted peanuts and excess macadamia nuts, may seem harmless or even healthy, but can quietly contribute to inflammation, blood pressure spikes, unwanted weight gain, and digestive discomfort when eaten too often or without moderation. These are the nuts seniors should approach with awareness, not necessarily cut out forever, but consume with more intention and balance. On the other hand, we've also highlighted 3 nutrient-packed superstars: walnuts, almonds, and Brazil nuts. These are the nuts that older adults can embrace with confidence. They support brain health, heart function, nerve strength, and immune resilience, all while providing fiber, healthy fats, and essential minerals that aging bodies truly need. The key isn't perfection, it's progress. You don't need to memorize every nutrient or swear off snacks entirely. Instead, start with small, smart choices. Swap a handful of salted peanuts for raw walnuts. Add a Brazil nut to your morning routine. Keep almonds nearby as a steady, blood sugar-friendly snack. When you pay attention to what your body needs and respond with food that nourishes instead of burdens, you'll begin to notice the difference. More energy, better sleep, less pain, greater clarity. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They're signs you're moving in the right direction. Here at Nutravia, we believe aging should be vibrant, not limiting, and that every choice, every nut, every meal, every day can move you closer to a stronger, healthier version of yourself. So if this video brought you value, let us know in the comments. Which of these nuts surprised you the most? Which one are you adding or skipping this week? And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about who's ready to age smarter. We're here with you every step of the way, bringing you real guidance, real science, and real solutions for living fully at any age.